Hey everyone, this is Scott from Scott to Grow Podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 3, Episode 7, Chaos Theory. Just be starting off with the plot summary and then just talking about my general thoughts about this episode and any foreshadowing Easter eggs I noticed. So let's just start off with that plot summary, which says May confronts Gardner, who explains that while researching for S.h.i.e.L.D., he opened a ledger of known Inhumans belonging to Daisy's late mother, which was booby-trapped to release Terrigen on its reader. Inhuman abilities within Gardner were unlocked, and when Gardner was subsequently drawn to an unworthy Inhuman, he transformed into Lash and then would kill that Inhuman. So that's why Gardner broke things off with May. Coulson joins Price for a meeting with the president about the outbreak of enhanced people, but it is interrupted en route by Lincoln, who has deduced that Lash must have access to the ledger. S.h.i.e.L.D. and the ATCU track down Gardner and May, and the latter being held hostage, and Coulson tries to talk down Gardner. Gardner's Lash instincts want him to kill Lincoln, and after Lincoln attacks Lash, only May is able to calm him down and return him to his human form. Lincoln warns that the Lash form will soon be permanent, so May has the ATCU put Gardner in stasis until their cure is complete. Coulson then spends the night with Price. So that's the plot summary for this episode. It was pretty concise because a lot of this episode just revolved around the fact that we just learned in the previous episode that Gardner is actually Lash. They're one and the same. And so through this episode, it's about pretty much May learning a little bit more about what happened, her confronting him about it, and him trying to justify his actions, having killed plenty of people already as Lash, particularly Inhumans. This episode I'm kind of in the middle about. This is not one of my favorite ones, but I didn't hate it at all at the same time. But it did, like I said, it involves a lot of talking. There's a good amount of flashbacks to we see like how Gardner turned into Lash and like how that process went about happening. So like action-wise, not a whole lot happened besides at the end them trying to capture Lash, and foreshadowing Easter egg wise, I didn't notice a crazy amount. There was a couple little things I noticed. Maybe like there was a mention at one point, Mac mentions that he wished he should really work on that shotgun axe, and I'm like, he's getting it soon, he's gonna make it soon. And I like that little bit of like foreshadowing / call back to the fact that he mentioned that before in this season. Other than that, I really honestly didn't notice too much foreshadowing or any Easter eggs in this episode in particular. But some of the things I liked about this one in particular was we did get May confronting Gardner and Lash, and that kind of brought up this side of May that we don't really get to see as much, especially up to this point in the series. We don't see that kind of, I don't want to say her sensitive side, but her softer side, her not agent of S.h.i.e.L.D. side, her not specialist side. We got to see a little bit more about what happened with her and Gardner. She gets to finally learn why Gardner left her when she was ready to leave S.h.i.e.L.D. for this life with him at the beginning of the season or in between seasons, how that fits in there. That was kind of an interesting thing. It was also kind of interesting how the team finds out about Lash and Gardner being the same one, and that's Lincoln's the one who kind of figures out and puts it all together. Well, he figures out that somebody in S.h.i.e.L.D. has the ledger, then he goes to Mac, which I really like. I like that he didn't want to worry Daisy or put Daisy into like a weird position, but he was cool with doing it with Mac. And I like that Mac was willing to help, even though him and Lincoln haven't always got along the best. They've got to butt heads a couple times, and quite literally, I still enjoyed that kind of team up, and then how they kind of came to the conclusion that Gardner and Lash were one and the same. So I just thought that was interesting. And then so the last thing I have written down was just Ward and Malik meet at the very end of this episode. We get a very brief scene. We get them talking about how Malik had helped Ward find Strucker, and then but for a reason, him and Ward are going to seem to be working together on something. And that we obviously know how that plays out throughout the season. That's all I had written down for this in particular episode. Like I said, it was a lot involved around just the Gardner and Lash revelation, and then May and his relationship. But be sure to let me know in the comments below if there was any foreshadowing Easter eggs that I had missed, or anything that you liked about this episode in particular. But thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.